Oh, boy.
Are we live?
We're
We're
live.
live. We're live. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Children
of all ages.
Welcome.
Where is The Rock when you need him?
Right, where is the
We are back, man.
Hold on. I fucked up last time. Last time I said 27, it was 28. Legacy numbers, episode 29 of the Tangents Podcast.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Today is a very special one.
Welcome. Hey, what's your name?
My name's Dalibor.
My name's
If you don't know,
James Bond.
you are not James Bond.
Why can't I be James Bond? Fine, I'm Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If you didn't know, it is who I am.
I suppose that's definitely a certain way to go. Man, there is.
If I say I'm Dwayne, will we convince him to somehow contact us to say, listen, man, you're not Dwayne?
Just for that?
Yeah,
I just want that phone call.
Just if we could just like...
And then we'd make a video. We'd
Yeah,
make like 40 videos
Yeah,
of that.
40 videos of that.
Yeah, just like that. We take the Gary Vee strategy. We take
100%.
that one interaction.
We take that one interaction with The Rock.
And just 100
and
videos.
Just, boom.
We're like, watch
Here's
your...
100
watch,
more.
watch
Why
The
can't you
Rock.
figure this out?
I don't know. I told it to fucking not turn off screens for ages ago. Just be like, watch The Rock roast me.
Yeah, watch The Rock roast
and like
me
just
on
put that
how
on
I'm
every
not The
platform.
Rock. No, my name's Harris, and this is Tangents.
This is the Tangents Podcast.
Why is it the Tangents, bro? Why do we call it the Tangents?
Because we just go all over the place. We go all over the place.
We don't even realize that we do it sometimes.
And sometimes we put foots in mouths. Sometimes we say some shit that is not correct.
Well, we always listen. It happens.
Hear me out. We're gonna go to Box Office Mojo.
Oh no! I know what you're gonna say. I looked.
By the way,
we were wrong.
I want to go on record.
I mean, here's the thing.
I believe in.
I said
in Mandarin
230.
Chinese. It is shishi. I believe that is thank you.
I believe.
I believe that is thank you.
It is.
China coming through major for fucking Alita.
Major.
$67 million opening weekend in China.
That's
more
correct.
than the entirety of the domestic gross.
That is correct.
Like incredible.
That is correct. At least China has some goddamn people that's willing to support a female-led movie.
That's so loud. I'm gonna have to edit that.
Actually, ironically enough, I don't think it'll be that loud.
That's gonna peak out so hard. Anyway,
listen,
so yeah,
I get excited.
China,
you know me and my excitement level.
We said it wouldn't even hit 200.
Dude, I said 230. You said you'd be lucky if you see 200. I said 230, but I might be hesitant to go with you on 200. It hit 260.
Dude,
I mean, listen, it's still irrelevant. It's still the money.
It hit 203 in fucking just foreign.
Yeah.
Just foreign. Like,
which, thank God. I mean, here's the thing.
Incredible numbers.
Yeah.
At this point, they've probably made, I'd say, about 100 mil profit.
If that.
Ish.
Let's say.
I don't know what their
50.
I don't know what their marketing budget was.
To be on the
production
safe
was
side,
170.
right?
If we say it was 30, I feel like that's average.
Let's say on the safe side they made 50 mil.
Sure, super conservatively they made 50 million, and damn. I mean, that's not a huge profit margin.
No, I mean, here's the thing.
But we might get that sequel.
We might get the finisher.
Because
I really want to see Edward Norton's face again.
Because I'll be damned if I was not expecting there to be some sort of like sequel setup. Because we talked about this before.
I mean, here's the thing.
There wasn't like a real.
I didn't read the manga. I watched the animated movie. The animated movie really was all over the place. It didn't have a proper story. I don't give a shit. I can sit here and argue with you all day if you want. You're wrong. I'm right. In this situation, that is the facts. Because if you actually watch the animated movie, it is legitimately all over the place. Like, the dude gets his robot body. He gets killed. He gets his robot body. He starts climbing the rope, and he's just crazy. It's not like he had a reason. He's just literally snapped so far that he died and came back as a robot body that he just knew that he needed to go to a land he was never meant to go to. Where here, he legit was sane. And, like, he knew what was going on.
And he turned around.
He talked to her.
I don't think he turned around in the animated movie.
I don't remember. No, I don't think he ever tried. I think he was, like, literally just crawling. I think he was, like, I forgot exactly, but
Also, the lack of physics in this movie, incredible.
I absolutely love the movie. Acting is on point. Like,
right.
I never once was I like, oh, that's not good acting.
Right.
The story, really good compared to the anime. Like, if I'm basing it off of the only thing I've seen of Battle Angel, yeah, I mean, It's really good because they've added additional things in there that would make the story as a whole instead of just being all over the place. Visually, great. You're right. In the beginning, it got a little iffy if it was going to be.
And it was just that first match, and I really like. And I think we had a conversation about this when it came to King Arthur. I felt that they blew their CG wad right in the beginning because that opening sequence with the elephants and the attack on the castle was incredible. Looked beautiful. Everything was stunning, and I just felt that by the end, by that final fight, for me, it felt like one of the better World of Warcraft cinematics. Like it did not feel real the way the beginning felt. The beginning felt real. Those elephants felt real.
Yeah, the difference between the two is.
I'm not saying it was bad, but it was just not as real. It felt,
right.
So it just felt like they spent all their budget on that just to like buy you into the movie. And then that reduced. Whereas I feel like this was so much more driven by story.
Yeah, 100%.
Than it was the graphics, so that I even forgave that thing.
It was quick too
because she died right off the bat, so it didn't matter that she didn't look that great.
And it was quick too. Actually, it was like everything was developed very fast. Like the storytelling, it didn't have to drag on. It was like, hey. I found you. Hey, I built you. You definitely.
The groundwork was laid as soon as he said Alita and the nurse looked at him. I was like, that's his daughter.
Absolutely.
Because I don't remember if that was even in the movie in the anime. I don't remember.
No. The whole daughter thing, no, it wasn't. It wasn't in the anime.
Yeah.
Like I said, the anime is all over the place. It's not. If you watch just the anime and not read any part of the manga,
anime feels like knowing. I guess at the time I didn't know there was a manga. The anime feels like they were just like, this is a cool scene from the manga. Let's make this a 40-minute
right.
And it just doesn't feel.
I mean, it goes back into what we said even in Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, the animated movie, literally is just about a team going to get a cyber terrorist. At the end of the day, there was no connection to any of the characters. You just knew they were cyborgs. They were a part of a team. Yeah, there was no real connection.
Already had the eyes.
Yeah, he already had the eyes. Like there's no way you connected with Major because she was literally there was no emotion at all. There was nothing to connect to her.
It was just
she was just cool. She was a cyborg.
Right.
She was a cyborg cop. Like it's just the actual. It's really good. I mean, I gotta hand to him. I think it deserves a bigger money. I hope internationally it does a little bit more so it can break 300 mil.
I would like it to.
I like to see it 300 mil.
The problem with that is this weekend, as we already talked about.
It is.
How to Train Your Dragon.
How You Train Your Dragon, but not internationally.
This past weekend.
Right. So I think they still internationally might have a chance.
You're thinking?
I think so.
Let's see. Where was she internationally? Worldwide 2019. How to Train Your Dragon 275.
Yeah.
And that's just 2019 in total.
Right.
Glass is high.
Yeah.
Glass is super high. I was not expecting Glass to be that high.
I didn't realize that was
see
out.
It.
Yeah.
Production budget $20 million?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a big budget movie. But it's
Sam fucking Jackson!
But actually, yeah, but that's
why did he take $5 million by himself?
Because Sam Jackson doesn't give a shit about how much he actually needs to make $10-20 billion. No, he wants to be in a movie acting.
And they probably have back end money.
Yeah, he wants to be in a movie acting, so he doesn't need the fucking production budget to be.
Let's talk about
because you know what he just guaranteed by not taking $40 million for himself. He guaranteed another sequel because they made money.
I don't know. People hated that movie.
They hated Glass?
People hated that movie.
Glass?
Yeah.
Really?
People hated that movie.
I'm shocked.
Every single review I've heard has been
Who the fuck cares? I don't
mean like reviewers, but I mean like people. Like just people who I watch. People who I watch online, people who I know on Facebook. Just like horrible.
Like what was their reason?
The story is garbage.
How's the story garbage? It's within the fucking same story.
I don't know.
And you have all of them.
But real talk. Split was not like if you didn't put that tag at the end, you wouldn't know Split was part of that universe.
Well, I mean that's the whole point of the tag at the end is for you to understand that it's in that universe.
Right. So I don't think I think Split was a better movie than Unbreakable.
Yes, I think overall.
I just generally think he's a better actor than
Bruce?
than Bruce Willis.
I would say that
I love Bruce Willis. I think
would
Bruce
say-
Willis has like a niche down really well.
I think
and has a little bit of range.
I think it's safe to say that
I think Xavier's a way better actor.
You just took it. You wouldn't shut the fuck up. I was just gonna say the same thing. I was like, I think Xavier's Xavier for a reason,
right?
Because he's just a better actor, and he's British.
Plus that
like,
range.
Isn't usually British mean you're fairly an
just
actor?
Better.
You're just
better.
You're not an actor. You're an actor.
Right,
usually.
actor.
Like, let's be serious. You know, it's
let's be
not
right.
like anytime I watch anything a British person do, I feel like for some reason it's already better because they're speaking.
I feel you. Actually, I think now I know exactly why this is down here.
Oh, okay. So to me, it's like that's funny. That's funny. But at the, let's go back. Our tangents. God damn it. Alita Battle Angel. If you haven't seen it, shame on you. You're an asshole. And I don't want to hear.
And we talked about this last week. So if you're listening to this,
I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, did I go a little too ham last week? Nah, I didn't. No, you're an asshole.
100%.
If you don't,
because look what's happening with Captain Marvel. You have people who are on there who, I mean, and these are.
Oh, can we give props to Zachary Levi
Huge
for
props.
coming out and be like,
Huge
shut
props.
the fuck up about your goddamn reviews and just let people see the fucking movie? Yeah.
And it wasn't even people doing reviews; it was people making up fake reviews.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
His whole thing is like, stop making up lies and
Yeah. No, for sure.
falsifying reviews
100%.
and shit. He's like, there's no competition. It's not like if this.
There is
Captain
no
Marvel,
competition. It's a
Captain
fucking
Marvel,
movie. Go watch it.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like it's not like. And he said, like, he's like, you're not helping anyone.
No,
tearing that movie down doesn't help Shazam somehow.
No.
Like,
No,
it just makes fans, quote unquote, look like assholes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it does.
Listen, to me, here's the thing. Here is my 100% pure fact. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're sitting here and you're judging like, well, Shazam's going to be shit and Captain Marvel's going to be great, you're a fucking horrible moviegoer, because a true moviegoer should just go see movies and fucking enjoy them for what they are, right? Now, don't get me wrong. If they're bad, as in like the acting is horrible, literally, it just sounds like somebody. Right. If somebody's just reading the lines that they just read, like, that is a bad movie. But I highly doubt that Zachary Levi was just reading lines. And Shazam, if you look at Shazam,
it's so
and
weird
you
to
know
see
who
him
Shazam
out of
is.
suit, and he's like super swole.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's got this like up angle when he's doing the video, and he's just this like he's slowed out, and I'm just like, Zach, you're scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, he fucking bulked up, bro. He
Like,
worked
Chuck,
out.
you're
He was
scaring
like,
me,
I'm not
Chuck.
just gonna wear a suit to make me look like I'm bulked. No, I'm doing it.
I was like, Chuck, you're scaring
No,
me.
yeah, dude.
'Cause
But
that was one of the best
listen,
shows
no,
ever.
to me, I see movies. I see all kinds of movies, and I give them a shot. And if they're bad, they're bad. And if they're good or enjoyable, like, they don't have to be fucking Oscar great, as I always say.
Right.
But they just have to be enjoyable. And if they are, cool, then I get to enjoy a fucking movie. Takes me out of my shitty world that I live in and listen to fucking people be dickheads all the time. So, you know, at the end of the day, I get to enjoy.
If you don't know,
art.
we work in technical support, so that's really the shitty world we're
I mean,
talking
it's
about.
just a shitty world in general. Do you see the news and shit that we fucking listen to all the time?
Nope, I ignore it.
Right. And so
Most
at
of
the
the
end,
time, I
at
do
the end
not.
of the day, like, for these actors to take their art that they're able to do and help you be somewhere else for 2.5 hours or an hour and a half or whatever it is to get you out of this shithole so you can just enjoy a different world or something else, then you know what? The fact that you're sitting here and debating if one's going to be worse than the other, who the fuck cares? You're an idiot.
Right.
Go enjoy superheroes on screen.
100%.
Like, you know how long
100%.
we were born in the 80s, in the
Uncle
90s.
Peter, what's going on?
We were born in the 80s. In the 90s, we were like, fuck, I want to see superheroes on screen. And now in the 2000s...
Yeah, and what did we get in the 90s? Let's be real. Like,
And then we got Batman with nipples, bro. Rubber nipples.
Bat nipples.
Bat
Yes.
nips.
Bat
God
nips.
damn it. I mean, don't get me wrong.
And that was a thing.
But
Like,
here's the thing.
As much as the internet is a thing now, and now they
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
like every little thing.
Yeah.
No, even back then.
Even
like,
back then, that
like
was a
in
thing.
the,
Everybody knew
it was
about
like
bat
on
nips.
the cover of
Everybody knew
it was
about
like
bat nips.
bat nipples.
Bat nipples. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, I still enjoy those movies because they're comic book movies.
Although it's really hard to enjoy Batman.
Well, yeah.
Batman and
Now
Robin.
after
Batman and
everything-
Robin is really hard to enjoy.
Well,
Batman Forever is great.
After everything
I'll give
we've
it anybody
had
says.
now, those are like, if you go back, like,
Even the
yeah,
first
you can-
Batman's hard to enjoy.
It is. It is. Don't get me wrong.
Because at
it's
this
good.
point, I've seen it enough times.
I've seen it. I own it. I've seen it.
I've seen it enough times where I'm critical about it. Like,
Right.
I have a critical mindset. It's not just... It's hard for me to distance myself from something like that. Whereas if I watch something for the first time that's old like that, like the first time... I watched the Mystery Men,
Right.
like, probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago for the first time. And the Mystery Men was from, like, 97.
Right.
And it was this, like, really, really
That's the
weird...
one with Ben... Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really weird, eclectic cast.
Yeah.
It's based on a comic book that's, like, super
Right.
indie. And, I never watched it. And when I finally did, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous,
100%.
but it was fun.
Yeah.
But, like, now I'm sure if I watched it, I'd be like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be a little bit more... I mean, dude, here's the thing. Even when it came out, it looked cheesy.
Even watching The Goonies,
Right.
I'm just like, that's not how that shit works. Like,
Well, right.
that's not how shit works.
That's
Like,
the point. Like, you shouldn't go into seeing these movies and thinking like, oh, that's not how something works. Who the fuck cares? As long as
Right.
they're able to act it out and make you believe that this is happening to them, who the fuck cares?
Right.
Go watch a fucking
Right.
movie.
That's
Like,
why I never understood. Like, I remember 2007, Transformers came out, and fucking everybody was like, it doesn't make sense. The physics of giant robots don't make sense. They wouldn't be able to jump
giant robots?
They
the
wouldn't-
fact that you just said giant
Like,
robots, but the physics didn't make
The
sense.
physics don't make sense. They wouldn't be able to jump around like
But
that. And I was
giant
just
robots
like-
make sense.
I was like, they're giant fucking robots that transform into cars. Shut
That came
the
from a different
fuck up.
planet. They're
Right.
they're
Shut
living.
the fuck
They
up.
are
Like-
they are a living organism. Actually, ironically
right.
enough.
Because they're liquid. They can reconfigure their
Ironically
shape.
enough.
They're shapeshifters more than
That's
anything.
right. Yeah, they're not just fucking robots.
They're shapeshifters.
That's what's funny. So yeah, no. At the end of the day,
Although, real talk, I haven't seen Bumblebee yet, which I'm a little sad about.
I am sad that you didn't see it either. But
that scene from the trailer where they're helicopters,
right.
and then they change into cars,
Yeah.
to then right away change into robots.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck was the point of that? Than to sell a toy,
It was
which goes well within the Transformers
here's the
mythos,
thing, I'm trying
because
to-
that's all that fucking show is to sell toys. But it was just like, there's no reason for that to happen. Because they could have just landed. They were helicopters
No.
and jets. They could have
I'm
just
trying
landed.
to remember the scene, and I can't right now.
Because I don't know if the trailer was like cut so much
Right,
faster, but it definitely seemed like transform and then a robot,
That's
like
what I'm-
one
that's-
to the other.
That's what I was trying to remember. Is if like, was it that quick, or was there like a split there or something
Right.
like that? So I can't remember that. But listen, at the end of the day, Battle Angel, if you haven't seen it, go see it, because there's really no reason. Like, you can't. You're not gonna sit there and be like, the acting is not good, the writing's no. Actually, everything is very good.
See, Uncle Peter, you're gonna. This is like now kind of self-destructive, because you're gonna listen to the podcast that's going up today versus today.
I know,
where
right?
We talk mad shit about.
Yeah.
Well, not so much mad shit. We just predicted very poor numbers, and China came through.
China came through, dude. I'm so
and China's
happy.
come through a few times.
Yeah, hell
China's
yeah,
come
man.
through
and
a
you
few
know, like I
times.
said, I hope they make another. What is it, 33 mil?
Because I feel like Ant-Man was the same way. I
They
feel
need
like
another
Ant-Man was saved
33
by
mil
China.
to make 300. So I hope they make another 33 mil so we can get another
great movie.
badass movie that finishes off the
I
story.
would love it.
It
It would be fantastic to see
love
a
it.
sequel to that.
But let's segue into the next part. Go ahead and tell me, since I most likely don't hate myself enough to sit through another season.
I don't think you should. I don't think anyone should.
Right,
I think if anyone has any questions about Iron Fist season 2, just send them to this. I'm about to
Yeah,
wrap
so
it
if
all
you
up
haven't
and
watched season 2, I haven't.
What's
If you
up
haven't
there,
watched season 2 of Iron Fist and you don't want it for some reason to be ruined for you because you want to put yourself through watching
And you
Iron
shouldn't.
Fist,
Oh my God, you shouldn't.
then don't watch this part. But here we go. You're going to tell me how Iron Fist works out in season 2.
So, they really doubled down on I am really fucking out of my depth here. I know I'm supposed to be the best one, and I beat the dragon by literally punching its fucking heart out, but I am fucking a little boy. I'm a little man boy. Bro.
Still?
Okay, so the season opens with him like, Matt Murdock told me to protect his city, so I'm going out every night. And like, it was cool because I was like, he's actually fighting. Like in every episode, there was fighting. But then we shift from that to like, he's like becoming addicted to the power or something, and he's just like unable to control it. And I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. The whole point of the trials, the whole point of everything leading up to him becoming Iron Fist is that he can do it.
Yeah.
So that whole thing, Davos is like intent on something at the first half, and then you find out he's trying to steal the fucking Iron Fist.
Which is not surprising, because that's what I figured he was.
Because he's a fucking petulant little child, and the only reason, by the way, the only reason he does it is because there's flashbacks, and you find out that, by the way, somehow there were women in Kunlun. Didn't realize that was a thing.
Right.
Apparently, his mommy was upset that he didn't get the Iron Fist, and she was disappointed. So he decides, I'm gonna make you proud. That's literally, he's like, I'll make you proud, mother. I'll make you proud.
So it's not that he's mad that this foreigner.
No, it's because mommy's not happy with him.
Oh,
it's
so
fucking dumb.
It's not the basic story where he's just upset that this foreigner got something that he should have been destined to have. But no, it's because mommy's pride was in check.
Yep. Mommy's pride. Mommy was the one that was mad about the foreigner.
Thank fucking God I don't even care for the rest of the story,
No. There's like three beautiful things about the season. Beautiful.
Do we ever figure out who the fuck is behind Iron Fist? Is it Marvel or is it Netflix? It can't be Netflix. Because if it's Netflix, how did they fuck this up? But they do good in I just watched Umbrella Academy. Good show.
We'll talk about this in a moment. Well, you also have to understand, there is the production company that actually makes the thing,
right?
And then there's Netflix who pays for the thing.
I got you.
So, for instance, I talked to you about this before. The Buff Nerds channel. He said that his footage was used by a company that made the movie that Kyle is in, the rapper Kyle.
Oh, okay.
But the company made, Netflix didn't know that shit was stolen, basically, taken without permission. Right. So he contacted Netflix. Netflix went to the company that made the movie, and then they made it right with him and all that stuff. But it was these guys approached Kyle hey, we want to make a movie.
So it was
but it's just there's a production company that makes that.
I understand that, but
Netflix isn't involved.
Here's the thing, and I appreciate that because we've heard a lot of stories where a company that puts the money is too involved and they ruin something, right?
Fox.
So I gotta give credit to Netflix on that part, but somebody from Netflix should have sat down, watched season 1, and be like, listen, we don't want to get involved, but you need to figure this shit out, because that ain't all right. That's just dumb.
So, Jesus Christ. What's her face? Colleen gave up being a vigilante, right? She literally hung up her fucking sword. She closed down the dojo for some fucking reason.
Right.
But then they're also, her and Danny are trying to shut down, they're trying to make peace with the triads, the various factions of the triads.
Well, I watched, let me rephrase that. A while ago when it came out, I watched episode 1, and I remember...
Yeah, okay, so you know, the basic stuff.
She was there with him, and they were,
So that keeps going, and they're trying real hard to, bring peace to the triads, because there's gang war happening, because somehow, they're the only two involved in this.
Right.
Although they did, touch on it a little bit, because Misty Knight becomes involved, really deeply involved in the, second half of the season. She becomes part of the show, really.
Cyborg Arm?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, she's in the show. It's not like a cameo. She's in it.
I dig it.
Although it definitely weirdly takes place also during, but also right after Luke Cage. It's a weird time frame.
So if you essentially what I'm kind of getting out of this is if you take Luke Cage out of this, or not Luke Cage, Iron Fist out of this show, and just put the women there,
I
feel
did.
It'd be a...
Yeah, they did. They did for 3 episodes.
Wasn't better episodes?
They were. Also, there was just too much fucking conversation.
That's the problem,
too much drama bullshit. It's just here's my thing, and here's my background story, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just
he should be fighting.
I don't care.
He should be fighting. He's a comic hero.
And he's not. And he's still not good at it. He's still not good at it. By the way, also the last fight between him and Davos was basically the same fight between him and Davos from the first fucking season. And that was shit. That shit was stupid.
Yeah. I wonder if I have to watch it to watch the last season of Daredevil.
No, and I'll tell you that in a minute because I started watching that. I'm about 4 episodes in, and I'm mad at that show too.
Oh, come on! How do they fuck that up?
It's just boring. I'm 4 episodes in, and I'm just is something going to happen?
Oh, come on!
Things happen, but boring things.
Here's the thing.
You gotta let me finish this, dude.
All right, go ahead. I'm already done. I'm not even gonna watch it.
The whole thing is. He gets the Iron Fist stolen. Davos now has 2 Iron Fists, and he's mad about that because he's he has 2. I don't understand. Because I'm not good enough. And then he's we got to get it back. And then he's I can't handle it. Colleen, you should take it. And she's what? And he's you should take the Iron Fist. And I'm I don't think that's how that shit works. I don't think Xiao Lao would be on top of that game. I think Xiao Lao might have some shit to say about you passing that shit off.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, no, that's they go down there. And she's like, no, I've given up this life. She sees a kid get killed in the street who she like cared about.
Oh, so she
and now she's like,
she's back.
Fuck this. Whatever you need to do, let's do this. I'm in. And I'm like, I don't. Now you're angry, and I don't think you're supposed to go into this that way either. Like, I think there's just like levels of fucking objection I have to this. And then, oh my god, the breakout star of this show, breakout fucking star, character named Mary Walker, didn't fucking realize until I was 3 episodes into Daredevil, and I just was thinking, like my mind was just working.
Not gonna lie, I don't know who that is, so.
I didn't either until I realized, with all the information I had on hand, right? At first, you see her and she's this like meek girl. She like meets Danny in the street. She's an artist, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. But then she go like, you see like it was like a scene with just her, and she goes home and she like freaks out, and she like starts running the water and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, she's got multiple personalities. She's got DID. She then you know, after a couple more events of that, where like it was clear, but then they really like wanted to like drive it home that it's a thing. You find out that yes, she has DID, and her alter, or she's actually the alter. The main is like this hardcore assassin, and she's working for Joy to fucking kill Danny or to steal Danny for the whole procedure. And you're like, okay, cool, but like the main, who just goes by Walker, holy shit. Just like deadpan quips that are outstanding.
Oh.
Where it's just like Ward Beecham tries to kick her out of Joy's house. Right. He's like, you need to get the fuck out of this house.
Right,
and she's like, do you want to get your teeth pulled out? And he's like, no, nobody wants their teeth pulled out. What are you talking about? Like, but she's just like so deadpan serious about it. You're just like, fuck, she's gonna do it. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, she's really good.
Right.
She's at one point, she's like shooting at Davos with a fucking, not a sniper, but like a M16 decked out. And she's like, I got all day. And she's like, plus I really don't fucking like you. Just like her dialogue was outstanding.
Okay.
So like, she's the breakout star. The reason I realized who she was is at the end of the season, like, she has like a flashback and like her alter says, hey, I realized like Joy came by and she wants you to protect her, and I realized like all the times you've protected me, and like I want to thank you for like getting us out, because she ended up being in like a Afghani prison camp or something for like 2 years.
Right.
And she's like, thank you for like getting us out of that pit. And then Walker realizes she didn't do that, and Mary didn't do that, and then she's like, I have another fucking alter, and she like, and I don't know what she's capable of, because
right.
Like, because she ended up getting Ward to pull up like the unredacted file, and it's like they said that they found like a bloodbath, and like the flashback they show her like soaked in blood.
Oh wow!
And she's like, I didn't do that. Mary doesn't have the fucking capacity to do that.
I kind of just want to watch it for her.
Right, and that's kind of the thing, right? But she's in it like in an insignificant amount of time for it to like outweigh the rest.
Right, sure.
And then, like 3 fucking days later, after I finished watching the show, I was like, holy shit, it's Typhoid Mary. Like, it just like all culminated. It culminated in my head. I'll show you later. But she's like a Daredevil, Spider-Man like background character. But yeah, that was her whole thing. And she's always shown like with crazy 80s fucking perm hair and like half white face, like painted white.
The painted white sounds familiar.
And that's always her thing, and she's got multiple personalities, and she's like crazy in sometimes she's fucking Daredevil, and there's all this other various shit. Like, but the fucking thing is, I want to watch that show. I want to watch her show. Yeah. But that's not gonna happen.
No.
So
I mean, we'll get it.
So
new shows.
She kidnaps Danny to have Davos get the fist. She's like, Davos is a fucking psychopath. She goes to Joy and she's like, you should get the fuck away from Davos ASAP because he's a fucking psychopath. And she's like, I know, but thanks for the heads up. And what up, Browley? What up, Browley?
What up? There was a new movie that came out, ironically enough. And
then she's like, then they bring her in and they're like, yo, you got to help us fuck him up so I can get the fist back. And then so Colleen could get the fist.
Right.
And then Colleen does get the fist, right?
Right.
And it's white. Davos's were red, by the way.
Okay.
She gets the fist, they fight, and there's the episode like Iron versus Iron or whatever. The first half of the last episode is the fight and the resolution of the fight. They fix everything with the first half of the last episode. And I was like, do you see, this is, if you're halfway through the last episode and your conflict is done, you did it wrong. You fucking did it wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
So, like, they finish all that.
Right.
And then it's like the setup, right?
Right.
They're like, the universe setup. I'm like,
Right.
there's never going to be more shit.
Right.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Or there will, and it'll be awesome. But
No,
like,
there won't.
so
No.
Danny was fucked up because of the procedure.
Right.
So Colleen and Misty went out and like did some investigation together and fighting together, and I was like, this is the fucking show I want to see. I want to see these two, and even at the end, they're like, she's like Nightwing. She's like, it's got a ring to it. I don't, because they have a thing in the comics called Nightwing Investigations.
Right.
And I'm like, yes, do that. When we go to Disney Plus, do that for a year,
I mean,
or
we'll
however
see.
long
Yeah,
you
we'll
need
see.
to,
We'll
so
see.
that we can bring them
Right.
back later. And but then the best parts of the show were the end.
Right.
The last half of the last episode is like 6 months later or whatever. Right? It's like the tag at the end.
Right.
It was just a bunch of dumb shit. And it was Ward. By the way, Ward knocked up his sponsor because he's in Narcotics Anonymous.
Well, of course.
He knocked up his sponsor because that's all he was doing this.
Right.
Thanks for the follow, Brawley.
Thanks, man.
He knocked her up, and he's like, "Yo, I'm in." Because Ward, by the way, Ward's probably the only character I like throughout the entire series.
I actually enjoyed Ward even in season 1.
His character arc is rich, and he evolves and changes and realizes he's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he's like, "Yo, I've been a fucking asshole, but I'm in. I'm down. I'm gonna be here for you. I'm gonna be here for this baby." And she's like, "Nah, homie, figure you out. I'm doing this on my own.
Ooh.
Peace."
Ooh.
And I was like, "Nice. I like that resolution," because he's like, now he has to deal with his shit.
Right.
And I want to come to a cool new website. Drop it in the comments. Let's see what's going on.
I'm sure we'll take a look at it.
And Danny's like, "Yo, I gotta go," because the setup for the transfer process is that Davos took he had shipped over from China a body of an old Iron Fist, like a decomposed body, and he like ripped off the fucking dragon tattoo, and that was the ink that he used along with Danny's blood for the transfer. And Danny's like, "Oh shit, that was an Iron Fist. I need to go find out where the fuck this body came from, who this guy was."
Right.
And he's like, "I'm going to China." And he's like, "Ward, you're fucking coming with me." And I was like, are we just abandoning the company at this point? Because who's going to run it? You're the fucking guys. If you both leave, the company is
You're
gone.
confused. Just because they're the CEOs doesn't mean they don't have managers. You know, they got
It's just
people to
like,
manage.
that's not how business works, bro.
got people to
You
manage.
can't just leave
They got
a
people to
multi-billion-dollar company.
They got people to manage. Here's the
Yes, we do. YouTube.com/T3G Media.
Yes.
Check that out. It's right there. I always forget that it's actually on the screen.
It's right on the menu. It's right there. Listen.
Hold on. I'm not.
God, I'm already so sick of it. I already want to know.
The two greatest moments of the entire season. It's like 6 months later or whatever, right? And it's like dudes in New York are in the street. They're being assholes.
Yeah.
Colleen shows up. She's like, "You guys seriously want to fucking play with me?" And she's got her fucking Iron Fist and she's glowed up the sword. And I was like, "That's sick!" But we don't get any of that, of course.
I mean,
but it was just like that moment was dope.
Let's be serious. Even if we did, we get one episode of it.
But that was just a dope moment. I was like, because she's got her outfit. She's got her outfit from the comics. So she's like, powers up the fucking sword.
Wait. I didn't know. Is that how shit went down in the comics? Like, did he lose Iron Fist?
I'm not done. This is the fucking shit that I'm like, why wasn't this the whole show?
Okay. Just hurry the
So it's that, and then one last scene is him and Ward are in China. Ward's trying to like finagle a deal. He's like, "Yo, I'm trying to find this body, blah blah blah."
Right.
And the guy's like, "Fuck this guy up." And this huge dude gets up, right? And he's like, "I fucking tried. All right, I think you're gonna have to handle this." And Danny's like at a table. He's like, "I thought you had this." He's like, "I tried. You saw me try." And he gets up, and Danny whips out 2 guns, and I'm like, "All right, makes sense because he doesn't have
his powers."
No, both his fists glow, and he shoots iron bullets. I don't fucking know. Because this dude tries to shoot him, and he shoots from, like, he channels the shit through the guns into the bullets and shoots the bullet as it comes at him. And he's like, why don't y'all give us the information we want? And that's the end of the show. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
It doesn't even make sense.
It's one of the from the comics, and the only reason I know this is because it was on a cover once.
That's awesome, Brawley. Yeah, you can shoot us a link. I'm sure we'll check it out
for sure. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how are you gonna set this up? And the only reason I know it's a thing is because it was in the comics. It was on a cover once of an Iron Fist comic, and it was a dude with 2 fists and 2 guns. And I was like, but that was a different Iron Fist. That wasn't Danny. It was like his grandfather.
Well, listen, it don't matter.
But it doesn't matter.
It don't matter. Here's the thing. All right, well,
those were the 2 best fucking moments.
I'm already.
But that's the whole show.
We appreciate that. We really do, and I'm sure with the subscription, we'll see it in our messages, and we can take a look at your channel if it's from the channel that you subscribe from.
For sure.
Here's the thing. That sounds like shit, and I probably won't watch it. Here's the thing, I probably will.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Mary Walker thing is cool, but like all of that other shit is just so overwhelming.
Here's the thing. I hate myself because I probably will watch it just to get the rest of the fucking story. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that was the whole story.
I understand, but no, I mean just to see the whole story.
Right,
that's just to see it. But
like I said, it's
I don't know.
more action.
I might try to like contain myself and not watch that bullshit.
It's more action than the first season, so like it's
right,
more
so action
packed. Right. And I feel like the story is better.
Here's
but
the
again,
thing.
still not a good story.
The Umbrella Academy. It is. How can I put this? It's not that there's a lot of comic book action stuff going on in it that I enjoyed it, but the way
it's like real life X-Men.
Right, but the way it's done, it's just way better than Iron Fist, or even Luke Cage, or even what's her name, Jessica Jones. It was just better way done. Yeah. It was just more entertaining when I watched it.
Better storytelling.
It's not that it was so much more action, which, don't get me wrong, they used powers quite frequently, just not as much as maybe I would want, but I'm a weird human being, and I really want to see powers on the screen, right? But still enough for where I was satisfied, unlike where with Jessica Jones, she breaks a lock and pushes somebody. Like, it's just like, what the fuck was that?
It was underused. The powers were underused.
Right, exactly.
Both Luke Cage and
exactly. So I think you'll actually... it's tough for me to say. I think just because the storytelling
drop it in the messages, and we'll take a look.
So to me, it's like you might enjoy it because it's better storytelling, but like some people could argue that it's boring because it's not like crazy amounts of action.
Right.
So I guess but it is way better storytelling. It's just way better storytelling. Whoever they hire to produce that show, way better than the Marvel shit. And I'm sorry, and I like Daredevil and Punisher.
What really?
But this was just better.
What really fucked my shit up is when I was watching Iron Fist. I had just read the Luke Cage Iron Fist series from recent times, right? So from recent times, I'll toss that up here on our channel here.
Let me just copy and paste.
I don't think I can. No, I can't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it talks about this whole thing where Danny has a flashback about how there's this cave where you have to go face your fears.
Right.
And he's like, people would go in, and people go in once. If they come out, they come out. If they don't, they don't. He's like, I kept going back in. He's like, because I was always about facing my fears constantly. I was always about facing so that's why this whole thing, like, oh, I don't think I can handle the Iron Fist. Can you hold on to it for me? It was dumb. It was so dumb.
That's just dumb, man. I mean, that already, when you told me that, I'm like, come on. This is not who Iron Fist is. This is not the point of Iron Fist. The whole point of Iron Fist is that he knows who he is, that he's ready for this challenge, that he's fucking literally the most mellowest dude in the world. He's more mature than anybody. He's more mellow. He understands everything. Like he's not a child. That is the whole point. The whole point is that he's not a child, and like it's just absolutely stupid that this is what they play them as. And I just don't understand their dumb reasoning for it. Like They never even gave a reason why they played him as a child. Like, I don't give a shit what their reason. Oh, well, he didn't grow up in the real world. I don't give a fuck. He grew up with monks who understand.
By the way, you're going to tell me that, but then in season 2, you're going to tell me that there was women there, so there were mothers, there were parents, there were familial bonds.
Right.
So he would have been adopted by one of them.
Regardless.
And that was the whole point, right?
Right.
They adopted him. He was his brother.
No, I completely understand. Yeah, no, it's dumb. It's their whatever they. How can I put this? Whatever the production team's decision was behind this, they must have not read any of the comics.
They couldn't have. They couldn't
because because they, from what it sounds like,
Danny is Tony Stark light.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what it sounds like to me, or just from watching the first season and then what you just told me, it sounds like they read the cliff notes. And
they read the Wikipedia.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, this is his capability. All right, cool. We're gonna make a show. Let's go." Like,
yeah, I see the site.
So it's like, to me, it's like, it was very. It's a very, very stupid.
Shut up, dog.
It was a very stupid way of introducing a great character. That, and you know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna be hesitant to say this because I know how the first 3 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was. I hope that when Marvel gets to do these shows,
because we have 3 shows on deck.
We
have the Loki show. We have the Scarlet Witch. We have the Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch Vision show.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? They had mentioned another one. Falcon. And
which is crazy.
I don't know how that's going to work.
I don't know how that.
Which, if they are going to do that, and I just read a thing today where Feige said that it's going to be definitely related to the Marvel Universe, that means to me that Sebastian Stan is going to be Captain America, Falcon's going to have his own show.
I'm okay with that too.
Which is fine.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. So, I mean, that's awesome that he gets his own show. I just hope that Marvel TV doesn't. I hope they don't pull off the same bullshit they try to pull out with the original seasons of Agents. This is a comic book show. Just make it a comic book show. That's why
if you're going to have a show with a hex casting,
right, yeah, for sure. Well, that's why I loved the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and even the one before that, because I don't give a shit that they split off each half season. Like, they kind of split off. It still is a connected story, but they split them off in how they work.
Yeah.
So, and I enjoyed that because it made it interesting. Like, they didn't just sit on for the next 24 episodes on one thing, even though they did. But, like, the way they did it, it didn't feel like they just sat on that.
Yep.
So, I hope they just make it. Here's the thing. 1, don't make it 24 episodes. Make it 13 and make them action-packed. Still tell a good story, but this is a comic book story, 100%. So make it action-packed.
100%.
So make them still have action, even though you're trying to tell a story.
Right.
Plus, now that you're bringing your streaming service, finally bring out the goddamn show that you were supposed to have with, what are the 2 characters they took out of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that were supposed to get their own show, never did. Bobby and...
Palicki and...
Bobby
and...
Like,
fuck.
Yeah, they should do that.
He was on the show. She tweeted that she was mad that she didn't get called.
I'm saying, like, just put them on. You got your own streaming service. Just do it now. There's no excuses. Like, oh, we're not going to get the people to watch it. I'm pretty sure you fucking will, because they're going to be signing up for a service that is going to be limited on what shows they get to watch. So, like, they're going to, if they're paying for it, I'm sure they're going to watch it.
She said she's down.
Fuck yeah, she's down. Why wouldn't she be?
What was she just saying that we watched her in?
Is that a Deep Cool? Yes, it is. The answer is yes.
That's incredible. Yeah, that's that Deep Cool. It's on the ground because I replaced that with the half. That's the video I'm going to be doing today.
That's pretty damn good that you knew that, Uncle Pete.
Yeah, that's the video I'm going to be doing today for the tech video on the main channel.
That's some good shit right there. Look at that. Look at that. Keeping an eye out.
You got the same case? Dope. It's a good case. I just wanted more space. On
Brawley, that's dope. Keep on streaming, man. That's what you got to do, man. You got to stream. You got to do the thing you want to do. We'd watch it, but we're doing a podcast. We are recording this that will be released on multiple locations. But yeah, no. So to me, it's like I probably will watch Daredevil because I did enjoy the first 2 seasons.
Here's the only problem I have with it is that it's really slow build. Like I said,
Right.
4 episodes in,
Right.
it's a 13 episode season,
Right.
and I feel like what they did with Iron Fist, it could have been 10.
It's just it
could have been 10 because a lot of the stuff is.
And I don't know.
There's a deep. They're doing a deep thing. I read the
My
the
problem
episode
with
synopsis
that is
on
my problem with that is I don't know why, because the first 2 seasons were so good.
She's in John Wick.
Um,
Oh, she's on the Orville. Duh.
the first 2 seasons were so good. Like, I don't know why they would have to utilize that. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, here's the thing. I'll probably watch Iron Fist just to get the last story of it.
Right.
Because I mean, I watched all the fucking other ones.
Like I told you, what I really want them to do is I want them to.
Well, here's the thing. They can still use those characters. They just can't use them in Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. But like, they can take Iron Fist and Luke Cage and Heroes for Hire. You create a show called Heroes.
No, they can't appear on screen.
Oh, they can't appear on screen in general.
Appear on screen
oh,
for
I
3
thought
to
the
5 years.
show. I thought the show name.
That's why I would like give me 3 to 5 years, and then have take the Arrow, because Arrow's going to be gone supposedly. They're saying after Crisis on Infinite Earths that Arrow's gone.
I see.
Arrow and Legends. Is
that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
I
So take the Arrow
I didn't hear
format.
that.
Take the Arrow of flashing back to shit.
Right.
Take that format, and when it comes back.
Well, now they're flashing forward to shit.
Right, but I'm saying, take that format, and then when you can put it back on screen,
Right.
hire the same people, and be like, it's 3 to 5 years later.
So here's my question. Now that you've said that, we're going to segue into that. What the fuck are they going to do? Okay, I can understand why Legends is going to be canceled.
Also,
because
Supergirl might be canceled because of low ratings, replaced by Superman, and that I feel like could go.
I hope not that Superman,
could
because
go
that's
really interestingly.
that Superman could get hella low ratings. I was not convinced of his Supermanness.
Really?
or his Clarkness. Yeah,
Really?
he went a little too ham with the cheesiness on that shit. Like, it
But I mean,
does
that's the
not.
whole thing. That's
no,
that
it
whole
doesn't
show.
need to be that cheesy. God damn it.
It doesn't
Cheesy's
need
fine.
to be, but that's what that show is. The show is like a 30s, 40s, 50s comic.
And it's stupid. It's stupid because Dean Cain did a better Clark Kent.
Wow!
He did. Better than that, man.
Whoa! You just buried that dude.
Yeah, I buried him because
I like
he did.
Dean Cain.
He did. No, he did. He did a better because it wasn't stupid cheesy, but it was still had the cheese. Like, it wasn't so cheesy where I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Why is it like this? This is unnecessary. It doesn't need to be that cheesy. That's some dumbass bullshit. It doesn't need to be that cheesy. Dean Cain did a better job. Sorry, bro. Sorry, bro. Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, it was one episode though. Like, can you really give him that
He
much?
was in more than one episode.
Not as Clark.
It doesn't matter. He was as cheesy as fucking Superman. That's the problem. That's the problem. You could have known it was Clark Kent while he was Superman. Like, that's Clark. He's the same fucking guy. Like, he's acting the same way. Like, that's the problem.
Wow.
I still watch the show, but like, it's sorry.
Hey, all I know is now I'm about to. I'm gonna watch Daredevil. I'm gonna finish that. And then I'm gonna watch the.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna finish him.
I gotta finish the seasons of.
Listen,
of
if
the
I
DC
sat through
shows.
Jessica Jones, where literally nothing happened,
Yeah, that was.
that whole series.
My whole thing is as soon as because they take him to a church. He cabbie finds him after the whole thing in Defenders, and
right. We see in Defenders he wakes up in a church.
Oh, did they show that? Yeah. Well, they show what happened. A cabbie finds him, and the cabbie's like, "Are you okay, bro?" Like, when he's clearly fucked up.
Right.
And then he tells him like where to take him.
Oh, I see.
He wakes up, and there's Sister Mary.
Right.
I think.
Right. Something like
It's his
that.
mom.
Whatever. Oh,
It's his mom,
okay.
and you can kind of tell that it's his mom because she's kind of doting on him.
I see.
And then apparently it takes them 4 more fucking episodes for him to catch her praying about it.
Oh, that's some dumb shit.
And I'm like, 4 more
yeah,
episodes?
it's
like,
that
it's
bullshit. Like, we gotta
obvious.
really develop this. Not like
It's
not,
basically
not,
obvious.
You don't need to develop that.
And then Foggy's having doubts about the life that he's chosen for himself.
Of course. God
And
damn
then
it.
Fisk got
Like, I get drama,
Fisk
but it doesn't
got let
need to be
out
that much drama,
on a
man.
deal.
Of course he did. No, I remember that. I remember the.
I was like, why wouldn't you? Because like he's got all these.
No, yeah, because I remember the commercials. I remember the ads for it.
Yeah.
He was going to make a deal to, and then at the end of the
to save her.
Yeah.
To save
So,
what's her face, Vanessa. And yeah, I don't know. I don't don't know if it's gonna go the way I want it to.
Right.
Fisk is in a hotel, so I'm like, okay, so we're clearly setting up for another hallway / stairwell fight.
Right.
Also, Matt's kind of fucked up, and at this point, 4 episodes in, he's seeing so stupid. He's seeing Fisk as like his angel / devil on his shoulder.
Oh god.
Because he's kind of like goading him on. He's like, you're here.
Oh.
You could come fight me. Why aren't you gonna come fight me?
So stupid.
And I'm like,
so stupid.
This is not necessary.
Here's the thing.
Like,
That's
also, and everyone, by the way, everyone, Matt, what's her?
Well,
fucking
here's
face?
the thing. Here's
the girl, Foggy. All of them are like, what do you mean they let him out? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What do you mean?
Here's the thing. If they cannot use them for the next 5 years,
right,
then just restart it all.
You think restart?
Just restart it all. Get new actors, restart it all.
I mean, like, it's not so intertwined. It's not intertwined at all, really. There's nothing.
Except for the few times they said...
They
didn't call him by the big guy.
The big guy.
The thing that happened.
One time they called somebody Captain America.
But at the end of the day, whatever. It doesn't matter. I say just reboot it. Who the fuck
I'd
cares
be okay
that
with the reboot.
Who the
I'd
fuck cares?
have no problem.
I'm sure at some point those actors would get tired of that bullshit anyways, and they'd be like, we don't want to play them anymore, blah, blah, blah. So at this point, just in 5 years, when you get them finally on your streaming service, just reboot it and be done with it.
Right.
That's essentially what, I don't know. That's kind of how I feel about it. And here's the thing. I'm not talking about go full out action where, the people that really do enjoy storytelling.
Yeah.
Like we know our friend Jason. Jason loves storytelling. He's not a big fan of action. So I'm not saying, but like there's got to be a happy medium. Like Jessica Jones had nothing. There was no action. I don't give a shit what you think action is. Her pushing a few people and then breaking a few chains. Right. That's not action. And this is a comic book show.
Right.
Like, that was nothing. It was literally just watching a show about a girl that needed to meet her mom.
When she jumped off that building, I was like, oh shit, she's going to fly. And then she didn't. And I was like, this is boring.
Exactly. It was dumb. But no, at the end of the day, just reboot him. Just reboot him. I mean, I'm going to watch him, but just reboot him. Here's the thing. I do want to segue into something else.
Go for it. That's what this is.
I heard.
You heard.
So it's not that I heard. Recently, I was surprised to hear somebody's comment on a movie that's coming out. That movie happens to be Captain Marvel. No, it's actually Shazam, but he used to be known as Captain Marvel. Shazam, and how it looks stupid.
No, it looks fun.
That's what I didn't understand. I'm sitting here and I'm like, Shazam looks like Shazam. It is a kid being a superhero.
Yeah, if you had a 15-year-old...
Right.
Who all of a sudden became a superhero.
Right.
An adult superhero, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
This is I think they picked the best actor for the role.
Well, yeah, come on. The
only person I think could maybe do it better.
Here's the thing, the only reason I thought Zachary might have been a weird choice was his physique. Because I've never seen him.
Yeah, he's never
ripped.
bulked up.
I've never seen him ripped, bulked up. He's always been a scrawny dude.
Yeah, he's always been a scrawny dude.
And that's not to insult.
He's never fit
that's not to insult him. It's just how he's always had that body type.
Even when they picked Hemsworth.
That's true. I mean, when
because he was in Star Trek.
He was in Star Trek as the dad, and he was skinny. Like he wore that suit, and he was like thin. He was a
dad.
He was
a dad body.
Yeah, like. And so when I was like, that's Thor? Like, I'm talking about muscle Thor, dude that's supposed to be like God.
But then he did.
But then he did. He's ridiculous. He's now like
it really
he's literally, I believe, is what Greeks based off carving up statues.
Something like that.
Something like that.
They brought him back in time.
Yeah,
like, this guy.
That's the motherfucker. That was
carved David based on him.
that was the dude. But yeah, so I was interested to hear that statement from somebody who actually read comics. They actually read comics and they said that.
Right.
And I was interested. It was weird.
I feel like you also have to understand, people read comics, but they don't necessarily read those comics.
That's true.
I've read a lot.
I can't argue with that.
Let me rephrase that. I have read a decent amount of stories featuring Billy Bats and Shazam.
Right.
They're all pretty cheesy.
I mean, even from
Billy Batson Shazam is like the G-rated side of the DC universe.
Well, I've never read Shazam, but the little I got from him in the animated stuff, I don't know about you, but he looked like a pretty cheesy dude to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Billy Batson Shazam is
there was one Justice League animated movie where he wasn't as cheesy. He was still cheesy. Right. You could still tell he's a kid inside, but a little bit more adult kid type of deal. But outside of that, like, it's a kid that becomes a superhero by saying Shazam. He becomes Superman.
Right. He joins the Justice League in it was like 2005, 2006. Dog, shut up. Seriously.
That's fine.
I don't know what to do with her. He becomes part of the Justice League, and he's so excited about it.
Right.
Like a little kid.
Right.
Like he's just gleefully excited about being
Well, that's
part
why
of
I'm
Justice League.
excited, because when he gets it, he's super stoked. Like in the commercials, you can see, like, he's stoked. He's like, I gotta figure this out, but he's like, bro, it's me. Like, I am excited. Now, here's my question.
What's your question? What if it's stupid?
Is it gonna bomb?
No. What?
You gotta understand what's coming out in the same time.
We someone at the same time.
It's literally a week away from.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah.
What?
I believe Avengers. Yeah. So is it gonna?
I don't know about bomb. I don't
know bomb, but like, bro, we're. I don't know if this was the smartest move.
Shazam release date, April 5th. Endgame release date, April 26th, bro. 2 weeks.
Okay, it's 2 weeks.
But 2 weeks is all you need. Alita just proved that 2 weeks is all you need.
But what's before it? Alita didn't prove anything except that it beat my.
What's before? I mean, let's look at the list.
No, just search Miss Marvel release date.
March 5th, dude.
Okay.
Next week.
And then what's after Miss Marvel?
Nothing that I'm aware of.
There is something.
Well,
look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
Films 2019 info. That's my favorite. The in-film Wikipedia pages are always my favorite because that's just like a dope list. The rank so far: The Wandering Earth. Oh, it's a Chinese movie.
It's a Chinese movie. See, I'd love to watch these foreign movies if I didn't have to read subtitles.
All right, so here we go. January, March. I'm sorry, March 8th, Captain Marvel. March 8th, Captain Marvel. Wonder Park, Nancy Drew. Nothing. Wonder Park is that CG kids movie. Dumbo's the 29th, but Dumbo's for little kids.
Yeah, which adults take their little kids. That's why. Let's be serious. That's
you've got Dumbo might affect Shazam.
Right. Maybe. And then, granted, there's not been great hype for this.
I'll be very honest with you. I'll skip it.
I'm not. I'm gonna watch it.
I'm not.
I'm gonna watch it because I think.
Let me rephrase that.
I think the company that did the trailer did it wrong. I'm pretty sure that movie's not gonna be.
I hope so. I hope Hellboy is not. I hope Hellboy is better than it looks so far.
Right. So I'm gonna still see it.
I'll see it. I'll see it. I'm not like Captain Marvel. I want to see opening night. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like Shazam, I want to see opening night. Avengers, I want to see opening night.
Right.
But like Hellboy, I could wait a week, wait 2 weeks. Like
I might wait a. There's no guarantee because I don't know if I'll be able to see Shazam on the opening weekend. I can't guarantee that. I'd love to, but like that's never always the case. Right. But I'll still see it. Right. It's happening. I'm seeing that shit in the theater. And same thing with Captain Marvel. Like I'm not like that movie's getting my money because I want her.
Us is the creepy
I want Captain. Yeah. There's that too.
One.
I want Captain Marvel to succeed greatly because it should succeed.
I want Captain Marvel
because there's no way it's going to be a bad movie. It might not be necessarily to a movie that maybe some people are expecting. It might not be the best movie, but at the same time, it ain't going to be a bad movie.
What's your prognosis from what you've seen so far from trailers? Does it crack your top 5?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Like top 5 of all time?
Of Marvel.
Of Marvel all time?
Because we're 20 movies in.
No, but
top 10 for sure.
Top 10 for sure.
Top 10 for sure.
Top 10 for sure, but I mean, you got
right now. Infinity War for me is so high on the list. Like Infinity War, Endgame would have to be ridiculous
Yeah.
to notch down
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War is just
Infinity War is definitely number one for me.
100%.
Like
it took it.
It can't.
Dude,
it can't.
It's
be
not
beat by-
just Marvel. That is my number one movie. Like for sci-fi slash
agreed.
comic books.
Agreed.
Like
100%.
show me another movie that's able to tell that story in multiple locations with the seamless transitions that it had,
Dude,
with fucking that many characters that are all main characters.
I literally from that
I don't
movie,
give a shit
from
what
that,
you
from
say.
that 3-ish
Show me-
hour long movie,
show
I
me
have
another-
and it's like I would say 70% CG. I have literally
And
one,
don't get me wrong.
one semi
Don't get me
issue
wrong.
with it.
I love
Stop
all
it.
three of the Lord of the Rings, and even I don't think Lord of the Rings was that good.
But see,
Lord of
for-
the Rings is good.
But do you bundle? And this is like a categorization question for you. Do you bundle sci-fi and fantasy? For me, Lord of the Rings, Warcraft, that kind of stuff is fantasy.
It is fantasy.
For me, that's like two different worlds.
And here's the thing, to me,
I know like a lot of times it said like sci-fi slash fantasy,
Right.
which to me
But-
those are such different worlds and different executions. Like you can't tell.
but I disagree. Like, yes, comics has their way of telling stuff versus like a fantasy book or a sci-fi book, but it is still, at the end of the day, fantasy. It is still
sure.
sci-fi.
I mean, I get it. I was just
Yeah.
curious. I was just curious.
So
'cause-
I would say, like, it all depends on, obviously, like, I can split up saying, like, this is my favorite comic book movie, and I can say this is my favorite Marvel movie, and then if I go even deeper, like, what's my favorite sci-fi movie, I will bundle those in there
Right.
to compare them to what else is sci-fi.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it all just depends on what we're talking about, but I definitely would bundle it if, like, somebody asked me, what's your favorite sci-fi movie? It's like, shit, it's going to be almost what my favorite comic book movie is.
So let's
right
see.
now.
What would your top 5 Marvel movies be right now?
Top 5 Marvel. Definitely number 1,
Infinity War.
Infinite War. I mean, you'd be dumb to not say that's not your... I mean, I get, like, you can make an argument why it's not. Oh, there's too much going on or some shit.
Right.
But Rolling Acres Mall. I have not, no.
Have not heard of that.
I've not heard of that. But, let's see. The second one for me... What was I saying was my number 1 for a while there? Oh, it was...
Winter Soldier?
No, it wasn't Winter Soldier. Was it Guardians?
You did have Guardians.
The
on
first
there.
Guardians. Second Guardians.
It's good.
It
Not
was
great.
good. It was.
Oh, they did confirm they're going to use his script for 3.
Well, that's good. I guess that's a bonus or whatever. I would, that's a tough. I'd have to sit down and think about this all over again. But definitely, Thor. Thor is in the number 5 or in the top 5.
Oh yeah, Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, 100%. I put Thor Ragnarok in the top 5 for Marvel any day.
It's known as the most infamous dead mall in America. Is that the one that was built on the trash pile? Because that one's messed up.
Right. I'd have to look that up. That sounds interesting.
I have not seen Into the Spider-Verse, to be fair, although that's not MCU.
Oh, God, it's given us also all
Let's see,
these.
MCU.
Yeah,
Let's go MCU.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I don't care about ranks.
I don't
there
care
you go.
about
Marvel
you.
Cinematic
Yeah,
Force.
yeah. So I definitely say for number 1, it's going to be Infinity
There you
War.
go. So
For me, let's see here. Thor Ragnarok is somewhere in there. I just don't know in what part, but it's definitely in the top 5. I love Winter Soldier so much so that I might keep it in the top 5. I'm a big fan.
Winter Soldier was really good.
Really fucking good, and it's not your normal thing.
Execution
Like,
was
yeah,
really
he
good.
has superhuman strength and stuff like that, but like, he's still the guy on the ground. He is still fighting with soldiers and shit. So like, to have it like to mix up a spy flick slash fist combat, like that was a good fucking. They did a good job. I mean, it's the same motherfuckers that did Infinity War, so they
Right.
they didn't fuck it up. All right.
Right.
So I would definitely say
Because Winter Soldier was the Hydra thing, right?
Yeah, it was not Hydra. It was fuck. Now I'm
That was the Hydra thing. That's where everybody that's where Shield was infiltrated by Hydra and all this stuff.
yes.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was that
yes,
movie.
Yes. Yes.
How it going, Bradley? Well, good seeing you. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the links. Thanks for telling us about stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely check that out.
Into the
Have a-
Spider-Verse.
let's-
I haven't watched it yet. I'm sorry. I'm a bad person. I haven't watched it. I gotta watch it. But
So you got Thor, you got
Ragnarok,
Infinity War.
Infinity War. I love,
Soldier.
and I know people are gonna hate me. People are gonna hate me because there were some people that say that this is not a good movie. I love Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I love Doctor Strange. It goes into top 5, no problem.
Okay.
So we got the last one. And here's the thing. Iron Man, the first Iron Man is a great movie. It is a great movie.
Is that gonna be it?
But now, like, after everything that's been out, like something like, for instance, like you're talking about Guardians.
Uh-huh.
The first Guardians was also a great movie. Like, to
It was.
take
was.
those
And
characters
I think both of
and
them,
space.
I think Iron Man introduced the concept of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then Guardians introduced the cosmic side of things.
Yes.
And they both did it incredibly well.
Both did an incredible job. Like, I honestly did not need part 2 of Guardians, but you could still fit them in all the other movies.
100%.
So, like, they didn't need to have, so it falls almost exactly where Iron Man would fall, in the sense of, like, it's almost a perfect movie because I got the cosmic side of things. I basically got fucking Cowboy Bebop. Like, essentially.
Here's the thing. For me, I really enjoyed Guardians 1 and 2.
Right.
Because besides the, like, Infinity Stone connection, they're really standalone movies until right at the end
100%.
of Guardians 2.
Yeah.
And that's how the cosmic stories in Marvel are written.
Right.
It's, here's this thing we're doing. We've got our own thing going on.
Right.
And then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, for instance, like Civil War 2 is happening.
Right.
So like literally, I just finished Civil War 2, and it was like the Guardians were doing their own thing.
Right.
And they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna head to Earth now. Like, storyline finishes. And they're like, we're gonna head to Earth. Why?
Yeah.
Carol called me. There's some stuff is going on.
Shit to do.
Right. And then they go do that.
Yeah.
And then they go and do their own thing again.
So I would say just because I love the space part so much, like, I really wanted that. I really wanted a live action movie that took me to space. Don't get me wrong, Firefly does a great job. You can't argue that. Like
the show Firefly?
No, Serenity. My bad. The movie.
As far as film.
Right. I'm talking about right. It's the same, but the movie does a great job in bringing you a movie that's about space that's almost like a space adventure. Not almost. It is a space adventure. Right. So, but I gotta put. I would say in the top 5, Guardians, the first one, takes it. So you got Ragnarok, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Doctor Strange. I like Doctor Strange because it also then introduced something else to the world, which is magic. So yeah. And I like how they did it. I mean, granted, there's arguments on why it might not be good, but I like how they did it. I think they did it right.
My list is going to be pretty similar. Infinity War definitely at the top, and like I said, barring Endgame being just leagues better.
I mean, here's the thing.
Endgame would have to be as good, if not better.
Bro, I don't know how they do that, right? Because, like, he's right now chilling, right? He's like, I gotta heal up. I don't give a shit. I already killed half the fucking people in the universe. Like, I'm cool. I'm gonna go relax and heal.
I'm just really, really geeked on the time travel.
Right, yeah.
Like,
me too.
Not just the, like, let's reverse the last 30 minutes.
Right.
Like in
Here's
Doctor
the thing.
Strange.
It's very possible that it might, like, because it's a 2-parter. I don't give a shit what they say. Oh, it's not a 2-part. It's a 2-part movie because you didn't fucking finish the conflict. It might just be like, I might count that as a whole one.
Yeah, I'd be okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Because originally it was Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Exactly. So, like, when it comes out, if it's as good,
barring it being
that
fucking a failure.
So I would probably put those up there.
Infinity War definitely at the top, and just for the foreseeable future at the top.
Right. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying, sorry to cut you off again, I'm not saying that she can't do it. Because I'm loving the trailers right now. Yeah. I'm super stoked.
Yeah.
The fact that there's going to be shape-shifting, the whole Skrulls.
That fight with the old lady.
Oh, my God. Dude, I'm
so
super stoked. As long as everything's done good. It needs to be, you know me, man. Like, the reason I love Infinity War is because it's
I'm excited to see Phil on the big screen again.
It's very well paced. It's a lot of action, but a lot of great storytelling at the same time. There's so much going on, but it's done so well. Like, if you can pull that off with Captain... I'm going to enjoy it regardless. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm going to enjoy that movie.
Right.
The problem is can it do that? Can it do where it keeps my attention, where I'm not like, I could go 20 minutes less. I could go, it could have been better pace.
Right, like the issue I'm having with Daredevil, where it's like, I'm 4 episodes in and I'm like, this could have been 1 episode.
Right.
Like, 100%. So for me, it definitely Infinity War. just because it's the originator, just because it executed so well, and for the longest time, I felt that it was a perfect movie,
right?
Or as damn near as you can
I
get
mean,
close.
yeah, I mean, I completely.
Iron Man
listen,
still
like I
has to
said,
be on my list.
if I wasn't more focused around the space part,
sure,
I think Iron Man would take that spot.
100%.
So that's the only thing for me.
Definitely Thor Ragnarok. I think as far as a space opera adventure,
you gotta understand they came
buddy cop thing.
Yeah,
fantastic.
We got both fun Thor and a Hulk all in one movie.
Fantastic.
And
we had a bad guy say, "Listen, if there wasn't a me, there would be no revolution."
Right, exactly.
Like, you guys really ought to thank me.
Plus, on top of all that, the first two movies didn't get that much of a raving. Like I enjoyed part two.
It was the only movie of the Thor trilogy that I felt was an Asgardian film.
Right.
Because Asgardian shit is so ridiculous.
Right.
That it, like, the bright colors and all the shit, that's the shit I wanted to see.
Well, the other thing is it wasn't also based on Earth. They decided to stick with staying on Asgard and stuff like that.
Right.
Where the first movie definitely more around Earth. The second movie was back and forth. There was some Asgard stuff, but it ended up being on Earth as well. So it's like, this was a very good, like, staying away from Earth.
Yeah.
While 100%. So they nailed that, man. I gotta give it, dude. That director might not. He needs to come back. He needs to keep doing this shit because he nailed that. I mean, I don't know. Dude, I don't know if that's a one-time deal, but if it's not, please come back and do some more shit.
Whatever he's doing next, honestly, I'm down for.
100%.
Taika Waititi did an incredible job.
Yeah, I hope.
I'm curious. I think he's got something coming up.
But keep going. So you got Thor, you got Iron Man, you of course
Infinity War, definitely Infinity War.
Infinity War up there.
I think I do have to put Doctor Strange on there. I'm a fan. I think it played not quite as good as the animated movie.
I know
because the animated movie was just really done well. It was just really done well. It had a little bit more of a richer mythology to it.
I agree.
Obviously, because of like on-screen restrictions, they didn't do like the crazy thing with the like squad of sorcerers at the beginning. Like that was a dope thing from the animated that I always loved. I think that's definitely top 5.
Yeah.
While I love Winter Soldier, I think I love Black Panther more.
And that's fair. I gotta listen. Culturally, great movie.
Culturally incredible.
Yeah,
they won an Oscar for costuming because
costuming was fucking on point.
And the comment was great because they said like, Marvel brought made Black Panther on screen. They're like, but through costuming, we made him an African king.
Fuck yes.
And I was like, yes, exactly because
to me, it's just
even the suit itself. The intricacies of everything was so good.
To me, the only reason the
CG fight at the end was not my favorite.
Like I'm not
100. Handled better.
To me, there was just a few things that, like one, I don't think it was as good of a movie as everybody was making it out to be. Sure, culturally, 100%.
No, but the fact that it was
movie-wise,
that it was nominated for Best Picture and Infinity War wasn't
right.
Really
and we already agreed that Infinity is better movie.
Really bothers me.
So let's be serious. If that's a better movie.
But again, I think Infinity War benefits from even there being a Black Panther.
Oh, for sure.
Because that whole everything in Wakanda makes like. Let's say that Black Panther went from Winter Soldier into Infinity War.
Right.
It doesn't, or Civil War.
Yeah.
It doesn't work as
well.
It's not as powerful. It's
and
not
I
as
don't
enriching.
and I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying, like we've already agreed, Infinity War is a better movie. So why is this being a nominee and not Infinity War?
And I'm glad that it didn't. I don't think it won.
It shouldn't have won Best Picture, but I agree with you. Costuming wise, I mean, I haven't watched all the movies that were nominated.
Green Book.
But
which I'm okay with. That looked great.
Which to me, like I don't know all the other movies that were nominated for Best Costuming, but I'm gonna be very hard to believe that somebody beat out being able to produce that kind of cultural costuming properly on screen in a comic book movie.
Right.
Like who the fuck was up against that?
Infinity War. Yeah, there's not that much costuming.
Right, because it was
a lot of it's CG.
Right, a lot of it's CG. I mean, hero costumes, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's it was a very. You know, we've seen it. We've seen the costuming. Like that's not. This is very cultural on top of like the hero costuming. So like that's kind of where the difference plays out. This is just hero. You know, yeah. There's different worlds. Don't get me wrong, but 100%. Like at the same time, that's not. That hasn't changed. Uncle Pete, man, he's still here. Uncle Pete, you are the man. Yeah. We just got somebody new though. Listen. I mean, I can see why you putting it up there.
I think it's got to be up there. I was debating about Spider-Man. I really enjoyed Spider-Man, but I think
Spider-Man is really good. Don't get me wrong.
To go into top 10, definitely Winter Soldier, definitely Spider-Man, definitely Guardians.
Yeah.
The first Avengers. There's just something special.
Oh,
about
there
that.
is. Come on, you can't. No, you can't.
Damn, it's hard to like pat out that last couple for
top 10. I mean, here's the thing. I've always said, for me...
Civil War was good for all its flaws.
For all its flaws, right. But for me, like...
I think I liked... Did I like it better than... No. I would definitely put Age of Ultron over Civil War.
100%. Civil War... Here's the thing. Even the directors were like, listen, Batman v Superman was getting such a good... love for Batman.
That's all that happened.
So let's go ahead and just do Civil War.
That's all that happened.
Which I agree with you. When they had the Serpent Society up there, I was like, I am very intrigued.
Dude, if they could do that next.
They could.
Like Captain America Serpent Society, because again, I'm just finishing up Civil War. I'm about to go into the Secret Empire, which is the Hydra Cap and all that stuff. Right. He in the first issue of the new Captain America, Steve Rogers, when he came back, he throws Jack Flag off a plane, and it was like, you weren't supposed to be up here. That's why I told you not to come up here. So I'm sorry. And he's like, what do you mean? And he's like, what?
That's great. That's great.
Because he told him, like, you guys handle these guys, I'm gonna go handle this.
Right.
And he went up there to like help Cap.
Right.
And Cap's like, I gotta do this thing, but you can't be here for this.
I don't need your help.
So I gotta throw you out.
Yeah.
But like Jack Flag, Free Spirit, they could introduce those because they come from that Serpent Society storyline. So like, there's so much they could do with the Serpent Society 100%. Story. When they showed that, I was like, yo, that makes sense.
Right.
I'm down for that.
Right.
But no. Dude, by the way,
because
to pivot into that, just to touch on that real quick, there's like two things I took away from Civil War and from the Captain America Sam Wilson storyline.
Okay.
Whoever wrote that and whoever was like involved in like setting up that story, during Civil War, Rhodey got killed, right?
Right.
You come to find out in the Sam Wilson book that apparently all the black people like hung up, like they like met up.
Uzumaki Hinata.
How you doing?
I like that. I like that a lot.
He all the black characters apparently had a secret meeting at some point, and we're like, if one of us dies, we all gotta come hang out. That's literally what happened. Like Sam walks in the back, right before he's about to give like the eulogy, and like Storm and fucking Luke Cage and all these motherfuckers
Jesus
are there,
Christ.
and I'm like, Storm doesn't even know you. Like she knows of you, but
funny.
then you're not friends with Storm. What the fuck is this writing?
That's good shit.
I was so mad about that. I was like, you're making this thing where like, all right, like I get it, he's black Captain America,
sure,
but like it's every issue, and he's like, woe is me. They even made fun of it in the book,
right?
Because like one of the extremely right wing newscaster that they portray is talking shit about the new Falcon, who happens to be Mexican. He's Mexican American, and he got powers and all that shit. And he's like, they talk shit about me, and Sam walks in, because the kid's young, he's like a teenager. He's like, man, they're talking all this shit about me. I'm so fucking pissed. And he's like, hey, they talk shit about me all the time.
Right.
What do you see me? Do you see me getting worked up? And they're like, are you serious? You're always complaining that they don't like you. He's like, oh, the white people don't like me. They wrote that, and I was so happy about it.
Great.
I'm like, thank you. The book knows that it's being stupid.
That's great. That's good shit.
Like the whole thing. Oh man, it was just like, and we're at the point where I'm at the point in that book where he's about to, I think, switch back to Falcon.
Right.
And we're about to hit into the Secret Empire storyline.
Okay.
So it's like, It's so ridiculous, and what I'm curious about is we're gonna have this, years worth of Secret Empire story where like Captain America's fucking evil, and nobody's confused, like it's definitely him, but then like another Captain America shows up, and now we're just gonna forget about all this shit that happened. Like, are we gonna is now that and like are they gonna address that now that Falcon goes back to being Falcon? Are they gonna address the fact that like everybody was like, you could just be Falcon, you're not Captain America. Right. Like, he walked into a police station, and he's like, I'm Sam Wilson, Captain America. And he's like, not my Captain. He's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
He's like, say that again?
Yeah. Let's finish off, because I gotta go. It's been a long podcast. Let me ask this. Let's go back to our beginning conversation about Battle Angel.
Sure.
Seeing the results that they're seeing, right? They're seeing these results. This is how companies work. This is how business works. So they're seeing these numbers. Seeing what happened with Ghost in the Shell, seeing now what happened with Battle Angel, and let's be serious, the people behind Battle Angel, it's not like they're small potatoes. These motherfuckers have created some great shit. It's big names, plus even actor and actress-wise, big names.
For sure.
So, they're seeing these numbers. Is there a reason for them to go forward with something like Akira?
I think Akira still happens, yeah. I think 100%, let me see.
Why would they? Don't get me wrong. I want it? I want Cowboy Bebop. I want Akira. But why would they? What would be their reasoning to want to do something like that if this is the results they get?
Let's see. Let's look at...
Because let's be serious. Me and you both agree. Battle Angel and Ghost in the Shell are great transitions from anime to live action big screen.
Right.
Like, I know people had an issue with Scarlett Johansson playing her because she was white and not Asian, but they explained that in the movie. They actually give you
really well.
Like, they give you a
really
proper story.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about this in the beginning. When you watch the Ghost in the Shell movie, there is no real story except that it's a team going after a cyber terrorist. That's it. There's no connection between Major. There's none of them. None of them have a proper connection. It's just a team going after this guy. Is all it is. But they actually, for the live action movie, they gave you more of a story. They gave you a connection. They explained why she's in a white body instead of an Asian body. They give you a proper connection to the character.
Right.
And I don't think it took away from what Ghost in the Shell was. I think it just added.
You're going to like this. In September 2017, it was announced that Taika Waititi was in talks to possibly be the director of the live action.
Yes.
Dude.
What?
Yeah.
Woo, that'd be great.
Waititi later revealed his intention to keep the ethnicity of the characters intact. Also,
that's cool.
Waititi expressed interest in casting untapped teenage talent.
Let's do it.
Dude.
I love this guy. I love this 100%. guy. Can I somehow...
That's we're a year and a half away from that.
I know.
And anything can happen.
I mean, anything can happen. I'm just trying to...
I just really want it to happen.
I hope he stays... I mean, we've seen this, right? We get great names attached to something, and then we lose them. I mean, you got to understand, Leonardo DiCaprio wanted that movie. He wanted it bad. Like, he was... Just like Keanu Reeves wanted Cowboy Bebop badly.
Right.
Badly, he wanted Cowboy Bebop. So, like... we get good names attached to this stuff.
It says several writers, directors, including George Miller, Christopher Nolan, producers, actors, actresses.
I mean, we've had a lot of people.
George Takei spoke to The Advocate about casting rumors at the time, stating that any decision to cast white actors in Akira would offend both Asians and fans of the original manga. Yeah, because it's set in fucking Japan.
Right, 100%.
It's all Japanese characters.
Right, with Ghost in the Shell, that was... You could play that off. Like, you could play it off why maybe some of them weren't Asian and why some of them... Because it was...
It's an international task force.
It was an international... Yeah, it was... Like, cyborgs... Like, there's... Anything...
It wasn't any one thing. Like,
exactly. So, to me...
And this new one was set in a super post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah,
Alita was set in such a world where they said people from all over the world came here because there's the last floating city.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
that's why there's different cultures, there's different accents, there's different everything.
No, so that's kind of where. But I hope. Oh man, if he can do that, If he stays with the project and the studio just doesn't fuck with him, just let him be, man, I think we'll get something amazing. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. Battle Angel was on point. Like
incredible.
I'm gonna buy that movie. I'm gonna watch that movie multiple times.
I loved it.
I own Ghost in the Shell. I will watch that movie multiple times.
I love
it. It's just absolutely dumb that we get these movies and people are upset before even watching the fucking movie. Like, go watch the movie and see what it is.
That's the problem. That's the problem. You get a lot of hearsay. Oh, I heard that was garbage, so I never saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who did you hear that from? Did you hear that from the internet? I mean, right now we have dozens, if not hundreds, of people on Rotten Tomatoes talking shit about Captain Marvel. That movie's not out yet.
That movie's not out. None of those people have seen it.
Like,
it's not like there was a secret showing and you didn't hear about it.
The people that did see it from screenings on Twitter went to say it's fucking great.
Yeah.
So the people that did see it said it's great, and the people who haven't seen it are talking shit. You gotta form your own opinions, and I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest problem we have now. Because look, we talked about this last week. Even if you can't afford the $14 to $30 tickets, LA is crazy. Yeah. If you can't afford some of those tickets, you have. Not there might be. Not you can look for one within 5 to 10 minutes drive. You have a cheap second run theater that you can go to.
Chicago isn't cheap. Chicago, Illinois, the downtown Chicago, all that bullshit. That's not cheap. We're in the suburbs where it's also not that cheap. But we still have theaters that we can find to go that is cheap and still supports the movie.
Almost every theater chain has a cheap day of the week.
Yeah.
AMC, as far as I'm aware, nationwide has a $5 Tuesday thing.
You know me. Listen, I will legitimately sit down if I think a movie is bad, and I will say, listen, that was a shit show.
We destroyed
Fantastic Four. The new Fantastic Four was garbage.
The
first, literally, when they're children. I'm not talking about when they're young adults. I'm talking about when the children
12 Canadian, so that's probably about $10.
Right.
Like, $10 is not bad, but like, I bet even if that was a problem in Canada, if you were like, man, I really can't, I don't have the $12.
Right.
You could probably find one for $6.
You
could probably find a cheap theater for $6. Like, there's ways to support these movies, and there's ways to support these films. And especially, like, my problem is that people have opinions without seeing it.
Yeah.
So, cool, you didn't want to see it. And that's fine. You can make that decision. Yeah. But then don't talk shit about it.
Yeah. Don't sit up there. Don't sit like, it's shit. How do you know that you haven't watched it?
Right.
Oh, but everybody else says shit.
It'd be like
that doesn't mean shit.
Right.
If I told you, this is actually, it's ironically enough, we're going to finish off here. If I came to you and I said, listen, I know that's your friend. I heard he's a piece of shit. And I'm going to say he's a piece of shit. Do you agree with that blindly?
Right.
Do you just take me for my word? Because that means shit. It means Jack's fucking squad. But they're critics. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
I don't know about you, but back in the day, critics used to... I don't ever remember critics being this hateful towards movies. Now it's like, if you're not hateful, you're wrong. So, like, who the fuck cares what critics say? Right. Who the fuck cares if somebody else says out there that you might know, like, I didn't like the movie. Yeah, well, your opinion means jack squat because we might not agree on that part.
Right.
Go fucking judge it for yourself. Listen, if you judge it for yourself in the sense of, like, oh, I watched the trailer, just not into it, cool, don't pay the money.
That's exactly what I said about Hellboy.
Yeah.
I said,
that's exactly. The trailer's not doing it for you.
I don't want to see it.
Like, don't go see the movie, but at the same time, don't sit there and be like, it's shit. Like, how do you know? I've heard it's shit. What does that mean? Right. That means nothing. You've heard it's shit? Like, that's no different than me
I'm sure there's people that have gone through the years and been like, Schindler's List is not a good movie. And I'd be like, you're wrong.
Right.
You're factually wrong. Because I've seen that movie and I know it's not a bad movie.
Recently, I will finish off on this. I recently heard from someone, they watch black and white silent films because that's when acting was acting, and the acting nowadays is shit. Nobody knows how to act.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Garbage.
I'm going to leave it at that. That doesn't even make fucking sense. That doesn't even make sense. You don't act when you're... I mean, like, you do act, but, like, I don't hear you. So how can I say for sure that you're doing a good job?
What was the thing? I remember there was a story that there was an actor who was prolific in the silent days.
Yeah.
And then when they went to talkies, as they called them at the time, his voice was so grating on the ears that they couldn't make any more movies.
I believe it.
Like, I forget who it was.
But at the end of the day, I'm going to leave it on that.
Yeah.
People base off,
opinions are based on
I don't understand people's mentality, so you shouldn't base your judgment of going to see something or hating on something without seeing it because you heard somebody else. Because, I mean, how dumb is that? There's no good actors nowadays. It was
Right.
only back in the black and white silent films
Right.
there was good actors. That doesn't even make sense. That's not even that's like we don't hear any lines. I don't know how if you're a bad or good actor if I don't know if I can believe you when you're talking.
Right.
Like what the fuck? Like that doesn't make sense.
Right.
So for me to hear that person say that movie was shit,
That doesn't make sense.
like why should I believe you?
It doesn't make sense.
Go make your own opinion. If you're making your own opinion based on a trailer, you don't want to pay the money, cool. Don't ever watch the movie, but don't also sit there and bash on it because you don't know if it's good or bad.
Right, and you could say that you didn't like the trailer and you didn't go see it, and then if
Right.
somebody comes to you and says, "Oh, I actually went to see it and I liked it,"
Right.
and then you could say, "Okay, maybe I'll give it a chance."
Yeah.
I think I combined shot and
you
chance,
did.
so it's a chance.
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 You did. You did.
I'll give it a shot, and and then you're allowed to change your mind.
Yeah.
I also think people make up their mind, and then like will just hardline that.
Right.
They'll be like, "That movie's garbage."
Here's the thing. To be
And
honest,
it's
for
like,
me,
you can change
I'd
that.
rather listen to the positive reviews over the negative because at the end of the day, no. Why would they like? Why would I be telling people to go see Battle Angel? I didn't get paid to say that.
Right. Right.
I didn't. There was
I'd
no
like
payment.
to- I'd
Nobody
like to
gave
get-
me money.
I'd like to get
listen.
paid.
If you want to give me money for saying that,
If Sony wants to give me money for
but
saying
like
the
at
movie's
the end of the
good.
day, like I have no reason to lie. Like if a movie's bad, it's bad. You want to base off what's bad and what's not. And I will continue saying this for until the rest of the time. Watch Blood Rain. That is literally the worst script because the writing is shit. But you know how you know the writing is shit? Because the person reading the lines is literally reading the lines. They're not like being a good actor. They're just reading what's written down
So
and
bad.
saying it on screen. And somehow that was made into a fucking movie.
So bad.
It's a bad
And
movie.
they made a sequel.
And
Let's
I
leave
think
that.
I
Let's
think
leave
two
it.
other sequels.
No.
I believe so.
Get out
So like, if you want to know what bad is, watch Blood Rain, and then you understand what a bad movie really is.
Right.
So anything better than that is probably acceptable. It's
Blood-
palatable.
Fan Stick became the first movie in the modern era to almost reach that bottom level
Yeah.
of Blood Rain.
Yeah,
Blood Rain
it-
is so fucking
Listen,
bad.
at least their acting was better.
Yes,
but, like,
their acting was better. The story was
Yeah,
horrendous.
but the story was horrendous. Like their acting was good, but just the overall movie was just bad.
Point of the story, make up your own mind.
Make up your
We're
own
gonna
goddamn
close it out there.
We're
You
gonna
have
close
to go.
it. I gotta go.
You have to go.
I
I'll
gotta
close
go.
it out.
Close it out.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for
for
listening.
watching.
Uncle Pete, everybody that's in
Uncle
the
Pete.
broadcast, thank you for hanging
the
out.
shit, man.
If you are listening or watching this after
Uncle,
the fact,
dude, can
make
I
sure-
say how Uncle Pete not only watches our podcast,
Motherfucker, let me fucking close
but
it.
also all YouTube videos?
Uncle Peter, you're
He watches
incredible.
car videos that I make. It's
Uncle
not just
Peter-
tech.
Uncle
It's not
Peter-
just
Uncle
movies.
Peter's a huge fan, and I appreciate the hell out of it.
Fucking I'm
Make
out.
sure you guys
I'm out.
see you, brother.
Peace.
Make sure
Peace.
you
Peace.
guys join us on Caffeine Live. You can join the conversation every week. We're actually going to do another one of these tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit of a special edition.
I'm not here.
So I am going to be doing a special podcast tomorrow with someone else. It's going to be a little, we called it a little crossover. So that's going to be a fun time. But yeah, every week we're going to be doing this, usually on Monday, possibly Tuesday. Make sure you join us on that. And you can join the conversation. Of course, subscribe to the T3G Tangents channel on YouTube. T3G Media on YouTube is the main channel. That's where we do all our tech reviews, app reviews, gaming stuff, film stuff. That's kind of our main line, and everything else, the vlog channel, the Tangents channel, that's just the icing on the cake. Thank you for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Much appreciated. This fucking thing keeps going off. But I will see y'all in the next one.